3,000 years ago, the people of the great Mayan civilization moved into Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. In the middle of the vast Yucatan jungle, they built new cities around beautiful temples and palaces. Their gods were the gods of nature. The greatest was Chak, the god of rain. But their cities were destroyed by civil war. Their temples were abandoned and reclaimed by the jungle. Today, the Mayan people live in small villages near their ancient monuments. The old worship of nature has given way to the new religion of Christianity, brought by the Spanish when they conquered the Yucatan 400 years ago. Ricardo and Adela Pot live near Tizimin, a town to which thousands of Mayans travel each January for Epiphany, the 12th day after Christmas, and for the festival of the Three Kings. The festival centers around the town cathedral. All the pilgrims must first buy candles before entering the cathedral. The pilgrims light thousands of candles each day as offerings dedicated to the Three Kings. For the days of the festival, the famous figures of the Three Kings are placed on the altar above a passing line of pilgrims. Outside the cathedral, Adela and Ricardo watch a procession of banners carried by pilgrims who are pressing to enter the sanctuary. Other groups are forming, waiting to parade through Tizimin's streets. The festival is as much a social event as a religious occasion. Amusement rides give children a good time, and the festival a carnival atmosphere. On returning to their nearby village of San Luis, Ricardo and Adela watch local boys trying their luck in a bullfight. Both the young matadors and the small bull are inexperienced, so no one gets hurt. But there's plenty of action and excitement. The trip to Tizimin was interesting and fun, but Adela is glad to get back home and away from the crowds of people. The Pot family, Ricardo and Adela's family, is very large. It includes older brothers, their wives, and many nieces and nephews, all living together in a big family compound. Ricardo's father proudly holds Luisa, his first grandchild. And there are Ricardo's younger sisters, Teresita and Maria. The Pot family lives a tradition hundreds of years old, less complicated than life in Tizimin, but requiring everyone's help in providing for the family. A typical day begins at sunrise with the making of tortillas from corn ground the day before. Tortillas provide a tasty and nourishing basic food for the entire family. Taking fresh tortillas for lunch, Senor Pot and his oldest son, Marcos, leave for their fields, but only after checking on their horse, Blanco. All the farm animals must be fed, and feeding Blanco is Ricardo's first job of the day. The turkeys that are kept in a large pen are also hungry. The Pot family's main crop is corn. Part of their harvest is always set aside to feed the animals. Each day, water must be brought from the well for cooking and washing. After feeding the animals, Ricardo begins a job that is always fun, climbing a nearby tree and dropping oranges to his sisters below. The warm, sunny climate helps many fruit trees grow, including a banana tree in the family compound, and a papaya tree with its huge, delicious fruit that turns yellow when ripe. By this time, Senor Pot and Marcos have walked the several miles to their fields and are busily harvesting the ripe ears of corn. Climbing up the corn stalks are vines that produce the tasty frijoles beans. These beans are important in the Mayan diet. At midday, it's time to take a lunch break and enjoy the fresh tortillas, chiles, and meat cooked earlier that morning. Heading home, Senor Pot and Marcos pass their neighbors' fields, which were cleared from the thick surrounding jungle. Marcos stops in the dense underbrush to gather wood for cooking the evening meal. In the village, school is held in the afternoon. The school is small, only one room with less than 20 students of all ages. San Luis has had a school for only a few years. The students are enthusiastic and eager to learn. Outside of school, there are many other ways to learn, like watching a neighbor sew a traditional Mayan dress. San Luis is a small village and does not have all the things that many larger villages have. For example, San Luis has no electricity, and so the sewing machine is operated by foot power. But the use of any machine marks an important change in the Mayan way of life. In the past, all work was done by hand. After returning from the fields, Senor Pot takes time to work on the weaving of a beautiful hammock. The designs have taken months to weave, and the hammock will be a prized possession for years to come. Because of the hot, humid weather, Mayans do not use beds. They prefer hammocks that hang, allowing cool breezes to pass underneath. In the evening, there are other jobs that must be completed. Marcos and a friend tend their beehives, while Adela visits the village mill to grind corn for tortillas for the evening meal. Ricardo has finished his chores and has time to relax, spinning his top, and then listening with his father to news of the world beyond San Luis. Ricardo's mother and the wives of his older brothers prepare dinner in the kitchen, which is in a separate house used only for cooking. After dinner, a special dessert is prepared, hot chocolate from cocoa grown on the family's own tree. The cultivation of chocolate began in ancient Mexico, and its use is a tradition that has been enjoyed by Mayans for centuries. As Adela spends the last minutes of the day studying for school, she understands that she must live in a new world, a world of change for the Mayans.